back. Zix. I'm back here in my test world, as you can see. This is the factorization machine that I did in another video a little while ago, and it's been a little bit of a, I guess it was the fish that you didn't quite get. I haven't been able to build this in survival yet. I just haven't had the resources to do it, but well, actually, it was more that I wasn't happy with the design, because as you can see, it's a bit of a mess. It's quite complicated for an ore processing system. So I've had a few goes at making a better one. This is a more compact version of the same thing. This is another version that does a few things differently, but it's above the ground, because the issue I was having here was that you didn't have access to the machines. You just can't get to some of the machines, so I put it off the ground so you can actually access things. But it's still quite bulky, and having it high like that means you need a really high room. What else? And then I tried this one over here, which employed a whole bunch of routers to do the same thing, and I was trying to use a Zycraft multi-tank for the water source and an I/O interface for the tank behind the router there. But yeah, not having a lot of luck with this system. So then I made this one, which was still using routers, but it was a different setup. So I had yeah, what was going on here? I'm trying to remember now. There was like a line of grinders and a line of mixers and then a line of slag furnaces and a line of crystallizers, but it turns out in the end I worked out that you really only need one of each of the machines except the crystallizers. You want to have a whole heap of them because that's the slowest part of the process. So I made this thing over here, which I'm pretty happy with. It looks pretty good. And I'll come in a bit closer and I'll show you what's going on. So you've got your ore input. So from your sorting system, well, from how I'm going to do it anyway, from my sorting system I'm going to input through here. This relay feeds the grinder, which is the first machine, and then that comes out. That's the dirty gravel coming out, and then that goes down into that chest, which is the input for the mixer. This is the mixer under here. This sorting machine is set up to take gravel of any type and a bucket. It has to do it in columns, so it won't put any gold gravel in if there's no bucket as well. It won't put any tin gravel in unless there's a bucket as well. There are 2 buckets going around the system. There's always pretty much one in here, and it's timed pretty close so that the other one arrives when this one leaves, so it's pretty good. Occasionally you'll get 2 of them in there, but the thing is, because it's only feeding one gravel type at a time, this will never clog up with gravel, and it can't clog up with buckets because there's only 2, so there's always going to be a gap. So yeah, that works pretty well. And then whenever there's inventory, this gate pulls it out, so it auto pipes back into here. This diamond pipe sends buckets down the green this way, and everything else will go that way because it can't go back on itself, so it'll always go to that way. The buckets are fed by this liquid transposer, which is how I've got. That's the same sort of setup as what I've got in the first machine, the original one. But yeah, the liquid transposer just constantly fills buckets. There's always one coming in. There'll be another one in a sec, I'd say. But yeah, they go in here. Oh, here we go. This is it here. So he's in there now. Here we go. He's fed, and they come out pretty quick. He's probably already gone up there. Oh, there he is. Yep. And then once he hits in here, he's already gone in. So you can see this is where the backlog is, because the grinder works a lot faster than a lot of the other things. So there's going to be tons of gravel, dirty gravel, and then yeah, so this gradually goes through one at a time to make sure we don't overstock buckets or gravel or anything. That was one of the problems I had with the previous one of these. If I go over here, I've probably changed it since, but I had a heap of mixers in a line out here, just like these. I actually had about, I think I'll talk about here, just the mixers, and I kept getting, there were multiple sorts of gravels in them, which isn't a problem, but they never left a gap for a bucket, and there isn't an easy way to tell the machines to leave a gap for a bucket. And then you'd end up with the one mixer at the end that would have like all the buckets. So it was a bit inefficient. So I'd rather just have the one mixer, guarantee myself a spot for a bucket, and always be processing, and have two buckets in the system. So yeah, you can't lose with two buckets. So that's pretty good. And as long as you keep it here, keep all the gravel here, it's not gonna be lost anywhere. So that's good. And there's only 6 types, I think, or 5 types of gravel, so it's, I didn't need a chest this big, really. And in the actual, like in my survival world, there isn't going to be constant supply like this. It'll only be getting the gravel, getting the ore when it's mining the ore, so, this is overkill, really. You probably only need, I don't know, I'd probably be hard-pressed putting an iron chest on it, really. So yeah, alright, so that's that, and then the slag furnace is the next bit. So from the mixer, the sludge comes in here. That's like a clay output. I guess I could, in survival, I'd be feeding this back to the sorting machine to be stored. So that's this furnace here. And probably I wouldn't be using a furnace like this either. I'd be sending it to the standard, like the powered furnace that's already connected to the system. This is like a setup just for here. Just because I needed the furnace. So that's the clay, and then over here, so this diamond pipe feeds the sludge down into that furnace, and I've got cobblestone there to block black because I don't want things going in this chest from this direction. The clay comes out from and goes in from the bottom. I didn't want anything going in that line. So basically, if it can't go that way, and if it's not sludge, because sludge goes that way, then it has to go up. It's forced up, because it won't go back on itself. So it'll always go up here, and that means it's a clean chunk from the mixer. So all the clean chunks go in here, and that's the slag furnace down here. So this is turning all the clean chunks into reduced chunks, which is what I've got on the sign there, yep. And then all the reduced chunks come along here, into this chest, and then this sorting machine has the reduced chunks. You'll see there's actually 6 reduced chunks, whereas there was only 5 of the previous types, because lead is created further down the line. You don't get lead. Lead's not an option for the grinder, but it is an option for for the crystallizer and what have you. Because you get reduced lead chunks. So I had to have 6 options in the sorting machine here, and I've given them each a color and assigned each one of them their own crystallizer, so that way we don't stop the production of other ore types. We're constantly creating all the ones that we've actually mined. So so that's what that's about. And down in, hang on, see if I can get it down in here. So you can see I've got ore, gold ore being produced, and I think that's iron. Yep, iron being produced there. And then out here, this is how it outputs. Because all these crystallizers are in a line, they're all connected. This router I have set up to extract from the top sides, because crystallizers output through the top. That's something I learnt a couple of versions ago. I think it's this one over here. I had to discover that. See how I got the sorting machine facing up out of it? Because it inputs from the side. They always input from the side, the crystallizers, and they output through the top. So this one over here, that's what I've done. So extract from the top, and I've put one of these ejector router upgrades in the router, so it ejects to the north, which in this case is this furnace, and then I've got the furnace accepting input from that side, so it's right. So the side between the router and the furnace, it's accepting input, which you have to do for the router to put it in there. So it ejects to the north, puts it in the furnace. Furnace takes it and puts it in, smelts it and puts it in here. So yeah. So there is a lot of product produced. I put one stack of each thing in the input chest, the input relay. Sorry. I think it's grinding. It's grinding the copper now. There's still 55 gold gravel in here. I forget how much gold is down here though. There's 42 gold reduced chunks. So yeah, you can see you get more than a stack, a fair bit more than a stack. So it's, yeah, it's pretty good, but yeah, the trick is getting it small enough. So ignore the solar panel array, because in survival we've already got our own established red power grid, and ignore all the conduit, this energy conduit, because yeah, we've got an established Buildcraft power system as well through the Steam network, so that should be fine. So it's just getting the rest of this thing in a room. Now, I was going to try and fit it in the sorting room, but I think that's going to be a bit of a squeeze. So I think the trick will be making our own room just for this, and then feeding the stuff back into the sorting network from there. So yeah, I think we can do that. I don't know. What do you think? Can we do that? No? You're so negative. Okay, so we're back in the survival world. So I'm going to get some stuff crafted so we can start this build, and I'll sort out a room. We need to build a room as well. You've seen me use the filler enough times now, so I won't bore you with that. But I'll get a new room going, and yeah, we'll get started on setting up this new ore processing area. So I'll be back in a bit when I've got some gear. Okay, so here we have it. I've ruined my really nice view from from down here, and just built a room in. Actually, I built two rooms. I built this one here and the one under it in the reverse of that order. I decided not to leave a huge overhang, so I just built in down there first, and then I built this room on top of the ceiling of it. And this sits right next to the sorting room, the current sorting room, so this will be where I'll put the new ore processing setup. And down there, I guess I've got a spare room, so not sure what I'm going to put down there. I'll have to work something out. That can probably be, I don't know, maybe the next project. But for the moment, this should be what we want. I haven't cleaned up the filler or anything yet, but yeah, so that's the new room. I might even put another door in here and get rid of these windows, but for the moment, that's where it is. I have made, where's my orange bag? I have made some of the stuff we're gonna need. So I've got the grinder, the mixer, the 6 crystallizers. I've got a slag furnace. I've got some of the sulfuric acid. We're gonna need one of these per crystallizer. I was making some anyway because I needed a battery, but yeah, so I've got a little bit of that. And yeah, I'm going to need some of the lead wire still. I've only got one left. I had to make some of that for the crafting of these, but yeah, I need more than I've got. And yeah, so it's coming along. I need to work out where I'm going to put everything, but I might just finish off some of this crafting, and I'll be back in a bit. I just wanted to show you guys the room. So, alright. Okay, I'm back. I'm actually up on top of the ceiling. This is the roof of the sorting, well, what will be the new ore processing room. I'm just setting up the power for the machines. I've got. Hang on, let's just eat this potato. There we go. All right, I've got. Where have I got? I've got a solar turbine and some reflective mirrors, and we're going to work out how we're going to place them up here. Hopefully there's enough room. Should be. So I'm thinking solar turbine can be there, but it's going to need water source blocks underneath it, so we'll have to raise it up a little bit, and we'll put it there, I'm thinking. Whoa. Yeah, my frame rate keeps dying for some reason, every now and again. Okay, now this will mean that the mirrors will have to be all up on a wall as well, so I'm thinking of putting a wall, or just blocks where I'm going to place the mirrors. So I've got 16, so I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll put 4 along here, and 4 over here, maybe. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, maybe I'll just place them along the side here. Like that. How many is that? Okay. Now let's just place them and find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're going to locate the solar turbine and orient themselves to face it. They're all close enough. I think you can actually go a fair bit further back from that. So that's good. So 3 more to go, which is perfect. Right up to there. Excellent. Cool. Alright. So now we just got to place this water. So if I stick a little pool of water there, get rid of that. Okay. There we go. Alright. Now you can see the middle block that is a water source block created by the other two, that gets sucked up into the turbine. So you've got to have the other two, because otherwise it'll just disappear. You've got to be able to create more water. So that, with the power of the mirrors, will produce power. Alright, so then we just get our lead wire, and we're going to feed this down. I'm going to feed this down here. Maybe we feed it on the other side. Yeah, I might do the other side. So we'll get rid of this. Yeah, we'll go this side. This wire is a bit problematic. You've got to place it just so, otherwise it won't work. So what? How? Okay. I didn't want to have a column just for cabling, but maybe I will have to. What if I go? If I put it there, will it go there? Yes. Whoa. Okay. Okay. Alright. Well, that'll work. Wow, that's bizarre. It actually sticks out in the air. Okay, cool. Well, at least it works. Okay. Now, I might have an issue getting that back onto the wall, though. If I do... what happens if I do that? Can I get rid of that? Oh, yeah. Can I get rid of that? No. Ah. I see. Now can I put it there? Yes. Well, looks a bit weird. Okay, if I drop down, can I put it there? I can put it there. Okay. Okay, well that's how we're doing it. We're doing it like that. That looks really messy, but whatever.